Come with me. I'm talking about these things that I thought about one time when I was waking up and I had insomnia and I had a lot of ideas. This is things of the future I manifest, as in things that I want to be fixed. I wrote everything down. I wrote it in my book, my fucking phone. Now I'm writing it down. So I'm just saying this stuff all over the place. So I'm starting with this. I want 10% of profits in films will go to the state, province / country promoted. And if it's the location is separate from what the filming is talking about, it'll be 5% and 5%. Then we got no more politicians. It will just be policies. We will vote for specific policies. You'll have, instead of voting, it'll be more like a jury duty, and you will basically take time off work for, like PTO, for learning and understanding all the policies. It's a 1 week minimum for you to understand what's going on, up to 2 months of max. I might change that up later. And if I'm splitting from the population in thirds, we could probably do that like 6 months. I'm not being too sneezy about the time we have for what our politicians are right now. If we spend more time for actual policies and all that, that'd be better. Pharmacies will include fresh / dried ingredients for medicine based on where I live and exist right now. All schooling will be free, even grad school. So you can basically start learning shit your entire life for free. Your gardening will be required for 1 year or either 2 years of gardening or 1 year gardening and choose another home ec courses if you're in high school. If not, you're probably gonna start. If that's the case, then I probably want actually gardening starting when they're young, so we can build something. Probably every school is gonna require actually more gardening, which is probably why I'm saying this also. School will be year around. Just we'll spread the summer into breaks. So there will be no summer. Everything will be broke around. Well, that makes sense if we want gardening for all our students. I also think that all citizens will be provided free traveling once every 5 years. So no matter what, it's free for all of that. I don't care if you think about, what about the money? I'll get to that. You'll get to that. I think that plane engineering will continue to expand the efficiency and the comfort of all passengers. So we're going to expect more people getting back to good traveling. We want daycare will be free. I don't give a shit. 50% of policies will be written. So if we're talking about we have no politicians, it's just policies. I want 50% of the policies to be written and pitched from Native Americans, and the rest will be all races, and it will be a max of 20% of white people. We'll see. Sex work will be legal and regulated, but also not illegal. So there will be no illegalities of sex work at all. And this is because if a worker is individual, then they have any of that in case they want to go without regulations. All recreational drugs will be legal. That even means stuff like poppy seeds. That's when everything is legal, then you can regulate those too. Therapy will be free, as healthcare will be universal. Dental, vision, mental, and equipment. FDA, if it will still be kept, will mean that if an agent quits, their results of companies within 2 years will be investigated, or even retirement, or two. And I might change my mind to actually have 2 agents required for investigation of companies. FDA agents who die will alarm for the past 5 years that they've studied for investigation. I'm thinking about that. It's probably going to start with just the thing about the multiple agents. And then we've got, I don't want any more cars, so there will be no more cars. It will just be a lot of trains, tracks, buses. Then I want to get around. Oh, I'm not going to see shit. Oh, yeah, I can still see it. We're just going upside down. Now I want to say about the gas, including your household and the cars. I will be replaced with electricity if nuclear energy is worth it. I don't know about nuclear yet. And if that's not efficient enough or too risky, we would just have engineers to figure out to replace it with water. That's just talking about for the electricity of the house and all that. And if you're using gas at all, your water is using gas, just so you know. If you have a hot shower, it's probably that. Then we gotta go, we'll do for the, I want all housing, food, as in especially produce, health, education, disability service will be free. All of them. Where's that money going? Where is that money going? Here's what I'll tell you. We are gonna cap all wealth at 800 million. So I don't give a shit about before the first billionaire. I'm talking about 800 million is a lot. So everyone has a cap of that, including your assets. So even your assets will be part that you're figuring stuff out. So your assets are, it's not going to matter about the amount of money. It includes your assets. Then I want to deal with, I don't want my plastic at all. Everything will go back to glass and paper. Then we want no more building houses that corporates create. So if they're building houses, they will just be existing abandoned buildings and houses, and they have to repair that. That's because I think people can choose to create houses if they individually do that. It's a corporate, hell no. Interest will be capped at 10% all the way around, and it will be within 15 years it stops, regardless of payment timeline. Nursing homes will be gone. Family and friends expected to include elderly. I mean like people we care about. We're talking about better community, because it will be a great benefit for people to raise kids and limit daycare, even though daycare will be free. There will be no private jets allowed at all. All people will be expected to share all travelers. All their travels will be including other people. I'm thinking that if I'm already figuring out comfy planes, we can do a general. We'll probably have 3 ranges of planes. All of it will be comfy. So the amount would be like, you'll probably be expecting 40 people as the fewest. EPA agents who die of any kind and or quit will alarm for previous investigations within 5 to 10 years. Earth matters, so I don't give a shit. 5 to 10 years seems even risky too, I'll be real. If 2 agents in same case, within 2 years of difference of death/quit, the investigation will go from not 5 to 10 years, but 10 to 20 years. That's in case they want to pay people off for all of that. Gambling will have 24-hour stay max. Yes, I know that has to do with, well, don't most of those, aren't all the casinos native? Well, I'm going to change this. I want all of our policies is going to be from 50% natives. They live here. Lottery will be removed entirely. After we have the housing and all of those things, there will be free. Everyone will be on a survival mode, will be less in the entire population. So it will be like choice, not everybody's does the lottery because they want to not be so poor anymore. So I'm good with that. I want all meat to be free range / field. And I think that all seafood will be max 50% from the sea. The rest of it has to be farmed. I don't know if beavers are protected, but they will be always protected, and it will be like illegal to, I don't know, don't we already illegally, beavers got protected at some point, I think, because we used to kill a shitload of those. But we're trying to make that, in case we need to do better protections, we probably can. We've got pesticides will be illegal. Based on, you're gonna basically only be able to use vinegar and baking soda for pesticides. It just means they're gonna have a huge bust and a huge peak for all vinegar and baking soda. So there's no bad problem with that. I think that law enforcement will have their budget goes 50% to social work. Social work, health, and enforcement will be investigated from the law, so nothing will be internal. Enforcement will probably dissolve into social work to a certain point that we don't even need it. I don't believe in fucking enforcement, but I'm also, you know, I figure stuff out as it's going on. Then we get over here, we've got some AI. I don't think we need AI at all. Once the art and writing created will be illegal because of the copyright infringement when people are kept from all the AI stuff. You're probably gonna be more have of like AI as a library online, like, but to be honest, I don't love that one too much because libraries are fabulous and I think people should go to the libraries, and I don't believe in that. So if you're thinking that disabled people can't get to the library, that means the world is not accessible for everybody, which means we need to get accessible. We need to make it more accessible for our people. Abortion will be legal, full term, full stop. I'm not talking about any of that because I know that when you have laws, it means it fucks up people who straight up have pregnancy risks. They just ignore ladies. So I want that because I want all pregnancy risks to happen. If somebody's there for having a baby for that many amount of months and it's their last time and it's just, they can't do it now, then something's fucked up is going to happen to that. So I'm good with that. I think that if a church tithes the members at any point at all, it will be taxed no matter what. Produce will be free. Pre-made food will not for the time being. So as we start, we're going to start, you know, adjusting to new stuff. Produce will be fucking free. Charities will be removed to a certain point. As we start, we are going to not include charity as tax deduction at all. It would be purely choice. The FDA will subset into other things because we know that FDA doesn't apply for anything except for humans. So I would expect we're going to sub it into humans, cats, dogs, livestock, and miscellaneous so that we can have a huge range of all of that. So I'm talking FDA H, FDA C, FDA D, FDA L, FDA M. Look, not too bad. It's just extra stuff. Pet breeding will be carefully regulated and capped, even including livestock, to protect overbreeding and making sure that everything is healthy for all the animals involved. So we're talking about actually having more people for more of that. I'm thinking we have all this budget for defense. All of those can be just ignored from all of that type of stuff and just put for the good of the colony and all of that type of stuff. So we're gonna regulate where things go to good for whatever, you know. Then I want to say that straight men will have choice of only vasectomy or birth control, and especially if they are sexually active, and women can ask to prove actual birth control or certificate of vasectomy. But we will still highly suggest for condoms and condoms And menstrual items will be free because we want people to have more freedom for all that type of stuff. Rapists, beaters, pedophiles, murderers will be mentally rehabilitated. If crimes occur again, the duration of the rehabilitation, it will be doubled for the next time they have another one, each time. So they will literally keep themselves up in that place. All financial crimes will be community service, absolutely no fines, nothing whatsoever. You will have no way to do that at all. Any social media will be required to pay creators 80 to 90% of the income. And for advertisements, those will be 70 to 80% for the creators. I don't give a shit. Landlords will not exist. Eventually, we will have housing will be free. For the time being, we will have absolutely no rent. It will have to be rent to own and a mortgage. And eventually we will move on into actual house will be free for people. We have too much abandoning housing for all of that it doesn't fucking matter. Oh, I'm sweaty? Yeah, I live in the South. Shut the fuck up. All posts, including children, all ages, will require facial censor, even if on accident. So if you did do that with kids, you will need to have options to censor that no matter what. Of course, if a child involved chooses to uncensor, that's fine, but it will not be able to be involved at all until they're adults. Any tech, all of technology, must be functional for a minimum of 10 years. 10 years. If it is recalled or obsolete within the 10 years, developers will investigate for full cause. And if it's fixable, they get only 1 strike. If it's not fixable, they will get 2 strikes. You will have 3 strikes in a company to continue to grow things. So once you get to your 3 strikes, which means you didn't do your fucking work to figure out how to make this sustainable, then your company is forced down. That's that. This is the shit that I want good things for this, and fuck the society we've got now. I don't give a shit. I want good shit for the good of the colony, especially Mother Earth. That's all I gotta say. I'll probably write more.